I think it's pronounced crew 90.
What's up, boys and girls? It's your boy Johnny, aka Crew 90, and today we're gonna do another vlog chronicle. So for those of you who are familiar with my channel, have maybe watched some of my other vlog chronicles, you might recognize the name Billy Bob. For those of you who don't know who he is, he was my best friend back when I was in high school. We're actually still really good friends to this day, but back then we were pretty much inseparable. So I've mentioned him in my vlog chronicle, DUI without driving, and also most embarrassing moment ever. So either way, today's story is going to be another one involving him. And we're going to go back to 2007, which was when I was 17 years old. So interestingly enough, it was actually right around this time of year. It was like late August, not mid-August. But school had recently, started up again. And we hadn't really seen each other in a couple weeks because we'd been really busy with back to school and stuff. So we finally just, was like, it's time to get together. So there was a movie that we had really wanted to see. So we went, caught a late showing of it. We both had jobs after school. So, it had to be after our jobs, after school. So the movie didn't even get out until around midnight. And once it was done, we really weren't ready to go home yet. Neither one of us wanted to go back home. So we said, well, let's just go get some food. But that late at night, there wasn't really very many options, for sit down. There was like Denny's, Perkins, or, I don't know, like Hooters or Wing House, something like that. But predominantly all that we were really going to get was going to be drive-thru. So we decided to just do Taco Bell. Taco Bell, we actually ate there a lot back then, to the point that he actually got a job at a Taco Bell at one point, because I had jokingly told him, we're here so often, one of us might as well just work here. And so he literally got a job there. But we went to a different Taco Bell. And so off we went. So we drove separately to the Taco Bell. We went through the drive-thru. Each one of us went through, and then when we were done, we pulled around and we parked side by side in like the corner of the parking lot. And so I got out of my car and jumped into the bed of his pickup truck. He got out of his truck and jumped into the bed, and that was very common for us back then. He had a toolbox that stretched across the back of his pickup truck, and so we would frequently just sit in the bed of his truck up on the toolbox and just kind of watch the world go by. We usually, whenever we got food from a drive-thru, that was what we did, was we would climb into the back of his truck and we would just hang out. And we were always just chilling in the back of his truck, to be honest. Like we would park at the river, we'd park at the lake, we'd go anywhere. We'd go to the mall, and when we're done at the mall, rather than just leaving, we'd go chill in his truck. We were always in the bed of his truck. So this night in particular, we're eating our Taco Bell, chilling in the bed of his truck, and, conversating like 17-year-old boys might do. But here's the thing, we were super close. And so we were very comfortable talking to each other about stuff that we might not necessarily be comfortable talking to anybody else about. So whenever one of us actually had like a real issue or a concern, we would go to each other over it. And so, all the conversation we were having and everything, all of a sudden I remember, though, he said very clearly, he was like, hey man, can we be serious for a minute? And I was like, yeah, sure, what's up, bro? This dude looks at me and he says, you ever had a hemorrhoid? And I was like, yeah, they suck. Now I know you're probably expecting like a 17-year-old dude asks a 17-year-old dude about a hemorrhoid and it's going to turn into a whole thing. But this was just, we were mature when we needed to be, and this was clearly an issue. So yeah, he's like, have you ever had a hemorrhoid? And I was like, yeah, they suck. Why? Like, do you have one? And so then he told me, yeah, he had a hemorrhoid. It was very painful. He wasn't really sure what to do. He doesn't really know how to get rid of them, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And he's embarrassed because he doesn't want to tell his mom about it. He also doesn't want to go to the doctor for a hemorrhoid, so he's not sure what to do. So I told him that I had one, like a few years before, and they had made this like medicated wipe that you could use, and it just soothed it, made it less sore, and the lack of irritation kind of helped it go away. They also had some sort of like ointment, but I had never bothered with the ointment, and I said also they just kind of will go away on their own. And so he was relieved that it wasn't as big of an issue as he had maybe thought it was. But we proceeded to talk for probably a good 4 or 5 minutes in great detail about what even causes hemorrhoids in the first place and how you get them. Too much straining, maybe, drink more water, take a stool softener. We talked in detail. So by the end of the conversation, he seemed relieved that the hemorrhoid wasn't as big of a deal as he had maybe originally thought. But I could tell he was still a little nervous about it. So to lighten up the mood, I finally did crack a little bit of a joke. I mean, I was being serious, but it was only stated because I knew it would lighten the mood. And I said, well, what's even worse than a hemorrhoid? And he's like, what? And I said, when you get ingrown booty hair. And he was like, oh yes, ingrown booty hairs are horrible. And I was like, wait, you've actually had an ingrown booty hair? And he's like, yes, I thought it was a pimple. And I was like, trying to pop it, and it was just so sore. So I finally looked in the mirror, and it was an ingrown hair. And I was like, oh my God, I've never actually had an ingrown booty hair. I was just being funny. And like, what? And he's like, oh my gosh, let me tell you right now, ingrown booty hairs are the worst. At this point, we heard a voice, not one of ours, say, oh my gosh, yes, ingrown booty hairs just absolutely suck. And then we heard another voice say, oh yeah, I agree completely. So at this point, we're looking around like, what the hell? And then we hear a third voice say, so how are the tacos, guys? And we look, and we realize we parked in the far corner of the parking lot because we were trying to just be a little isolated so we could eat our meal in quietness. I mean, it's, at this point a little past midnight, but there's a lot of people still in the parking lot because it was in a plaza. Well, that far parking space happened to be the closest space to the drive-thru. And we were maybe 6-7 feet away from the speaker box. And apparently the speaker boxes pick up a lot more than you might realize. So they heard our entire conversation and apparently were just listening. So essentially the entire Taco Bell staff, at least everyone who had headsets, heard us talking in great detail about how we have both had hemorrhoids, how uncomfortable they are, and then how Billy Bob has had an ingrown booty hair. Now, if this wasn't bad enough, prior to this conversation, we had been talking about how cute the girl at the money window, because there was a cash window and then a food window, how cute the girl at the cash window had been, most specifically due to the fact that I recognized her from my school and actually had not one, not two, but 3 classes with her. And I had proceeded to talk in pretty great detail about how she was so attractive. And I think maybe the next day that I see her in school, I'm going to try to get her number. To which was then immediately followed by her hearing me talk about hemorrhoids and ingrown booty hairs. If you think you've ever seen something move quickly, like maybe you've watched National Geographic and you saw the cheetahs and you were like, wow, those things move fast. Let me tell you, the speed with which we were out of the back of his truck and into our vehicles would make that cheetah look like it was a snail. We didn't go back to that Taco Bell for I didn't go back there for a long time. I don't know about him, but I didn't go back to that Taco Bell for years. The icing on the cake was, as we were getting into our cars, I heard her, my classmate, Miss Cutie Pie, I heard her say through the speaker box, well, good luck with those hemorrhoids, boys. So yeah, moral of the story, drive-thrus hear everything. So if you ever feel the need to talk about a hemorrhoid or an ingrown booty hair while in a drive-thru, make sure your windows are rolled up and you're like well around the corner from the speaker box. Otherwise, the entire staff inside of the Taco Bell might know about your butt situation. So just, the more you know. As always, it's your boy Johnny, aka Crew 90, and I'll catch you next time. Okay, yes, let's just slide everywhere. Oh, okay, and now I lose my stand. Beautiful. This is why I just don't do these videos anymore. Oh, cool. Let's just look at the warning. Oh, there goes the stand again. This is a very flattering angle. Oh, and we're recording. Wow, I didn't realize that. Oh, well, this will be good for my unseen footage reel. Okay. What the hell? This is a great angle. This will get all the female viewers. What is going on? Did the stand break? Oh, cool. It broke. Nice.